10,000 RPM, 2, that is the number that should be ringing in your ears right now. For decades, we were told that the death of the naturally aspirated V10 would be the end of the Lamborghini soul. We thought that once the Huracan took its final bow, the era of raw, unadulterated Italian fury would be replaced by silent motors and muted turbos. But standing here in 2026, looking at the Temerario, it's clear that Lamborghini didn't just survive the transition to hybridization. They weaponized it. This isn't just a review of a car, it's a look at a brand that has successfully defied the quiet future to bring us the most visceral lineup in its 60-year history. The Temerario, a 10,000 revolutions per minute masterpiece, 3. The 2026 Lamborghini Temerario is the car everyone was afraid of. Replacing the Huracan meant losing that iconic 5.2-liter V10, but in its place is a 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 that feels like it was forged in a different dimension. 4. The headline figure isn't just the 907 combined horsepower, it's that 10,000 revolutions per minute redline. 1. When you're behind the wheel, the sensation of that V8 climbing toward 5 figures is unlike anything else on the market. At low revs, the twin turbos give you a thick wall of torque that the old Huracan could only dream of. But as you pass 7,000 revolutions per minute, the hot V configuration and the flat plane crank take over, producing a high-frequency mechanical shriek that sounds more like a Formula One car than a road-going hybrid. 4. The HPV, high-performance electrified vehicle, system uses 3 electric motors, 2 on the front axle and 1 integrated into the 8-speed dual-clutch transmission. 2. This isn't for saving the planet, in the traditional sense, it's for torque fill. In a traditional turbo car, there's that split second of lag before the power hits. In the Temerario, the electric motors bridge that gap instantly. The result is a 0 to 60 time of 2.7 seconds and a top speed that pushes past 211 miles per hour. 5. It feels lighter than its nearly 4,000-pound curb weight suggests, thanks to a torque vectoring system that makes the car rotate into corners with surgical precision. 4. Revuelto, the V12 flagship in its prime. If the Temerario is the high-tech disruptor, the 2026 Revuelto remains the undisputed king of Sant'Agata. Now entering its 3rd year of production, the Revuelto has silenced any skeptics who thought a hybrid V12 would be soft. This is still a 6.5-liter naturally aspirated monster at its heart, but with 1,001 combined horsepower, it occupies a space usually reserved for multi-million-dollar hypercars. For driving the 2026 model, you notice how Lamborghini has refined the software. The transition between full EV mode, which is surprisingly useful for creeping out of your neighborhood at 6 a.m., and the full V12 Corsa mode is now seamless. The cockpit of the Revuelto remains the gold standard for the feel like a pilot philosophy. You're surrounded by 3 screens, including a dedicated display for the passenger so they can see exactly how fast you're terrifying them. One thing to watch out for, early 2025 models had some minor software gremlins with the rear-view camera, but for 2026, those issues have been ironed out. The ride quality in Strata mode is also a revelation. Thanks to the active suspension and rear-wheel steering, this is a car you could actually drive across a continent, provided you can fit more than a toothbrush in the front trunk. Urus SE, the 800-horsepower daily driver. 4. The biggest volume seller for 2026 is undoubtedly the Urus SE. This is the first time that super SUV has gone full plug-in hybrid, and the specs are staggering. 6. You're looking at 789 horsepower and a 0 to 62 miles per hour sprint in 3.4 seconds. 7. But the real story is the versatility. You now have over 30 miles of pure electric range. 8. For the average owner, this means you can do the school run or the grocery trip without burning a single drop of high-octane fuel. But don't let the efficiency fool you. Put the Urus SE into Sabbia or Sport mode, and the electric motor acts as a massive boost button for the twin-turbo V8. The instant torque makes this 5,500-pound SUV feel like it's being launched out of a catapult. 4. The 2026 interior has also seen a subtle refresh, with more ad personam customization options than ever before. You can now spec almost every surface in forged carbon or sustainable, ultra, materials that mimic the feel of Alcantara but with much better durability for a family vehicle. The verdict: a new era of dominance. Lamborghini's 2026 lineup is a masterclass in brand preservation. By embracing hybridization early and focusing on emotional performance rather than just efficiency, they've created a fleet of cars that feel more alive than their predecessors. The Temerario is the technical marvel for the new generation, the Revuelto is the legendary halo for the purists, and the Urus SE is the ultimate lifestyle tool. If you're in the market, the wait times are still significant, often stretching into 2027 for a bespoke Revuelto, but the experience justifies the patience. Lamborghini hasn't just replaced their icons, they've evolved them into something faster, smarter, and somehow, even louder. 9. The Raging Bull isn't just running. It's leading the pack. Which one would you put in your garage? The 10,000 revolutions per minute Screamer or the V12 Hybrid King? The choice has never been more difficult, or more exciting.